Hey guys, how are you? I'm going to be starting the free yes and no with a crystal ball, and you can see up there to book. Hey guys, how are you? Happy Friday. Good morning. Happy Friday, guys. All right, so I'm going to be starting free yes and no. I'm just waiting for the stream to load a little bit. Okay, it seems like it loaded good. Okay, we can start. So if you want to go ahead, just put your question. I can get to probably 85% of questions asked. I can answer it through So if you guys are interested in learning how to scry or gaze, I do teach crystal ball. There's many different ways of reading. This is a form of speed reading with it. There are ways to do long reads, and I'm going to be reading from the amethyst as well. Okay, let's see. All right, so Blessed is asking about Byron. Okay. I would say the interest in you is not it's not balanced to what you feel. I think they're still kind of seeing where things go. I'm not seeing that they are, where you're at. Vanessa's asking, is your ex Anson happy with Karina? Unfortunately, the answer is yes. I do see him sharing things with her. So, for example, if he's eating something, he'll give her. It seems the type of relationship where she plays a little bit hard to get kind of vibes. Like, this is kind of like her demeanor. A lot of times you see that kind of thing in the Leo Capricorn Cancer behavior sometimes, especially the Leo Capricorn. I'm not saying that's her sign. I'm saying that is the type what she reminds me of. And I think she has him in check. So because of that, he has to work harder. If she's all, sweet and goopy, then I think he would lose interest. Unfortunately, it's his own lack of self-esteem. Wondering if he has Pisces placements. All right, Sandy, will you ever get a chance with Julian? So I do see some event in particular where two people are sitting. I don't know if that's a golf cart. That's kind of weird. It could be a place where it's a park. It could be something like that. The only thing, because this is not a full reading, so it's just a message to answer your question. So if you have plans, this looks like it could be where you go. But if you don't, it could be a memory. So if it happened, you would already remember it. You would be like, oh, okay, yeah, we went there last month, whatever. We went to a park or a theme park or something like that. Maybe there, golf course, something where there's some kind of, it could be mini golf, whatever. It could be something like that. But when it comes to something, oh, hey, Bugs. That's Goose, right? I think. Hi. So that's the answer that I have for you. Let me go back just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see. Let's see. I know people were asking me questions. I try to get to everybody as much as I can, fast as I can. Okay. So like again, I'm trying to get to everybody. All right, Hazel, thank you so much, sweetheart. Hey, you guys, how are you? All right, so I'm getting some people on YTUBE. Remember that I'm also streaming on TikTok, and the reason is because of the new platform changes. You can't say certain things. So when people book a reading on TikTok, I do it on YTUBE because you can't mention other PLA, TFO, or RMS, and the filtration is crazy, and I'm not going to deal with it. So that's why you guys, I know you're on hold. You're probably asking questions. I'm not ready to take questions on that side. I'm not moderating. So I'm doing it on TikTok. All right. Sorry, you're not getting ignored, but sometimes I just stream only there. But I'm sorry about that. I know you're asking questions, but I got to deal with this, the other one. All right, guys, if you book a read, I'll do it. I'll meet you on the YT. All right. Okay. So I'm sure nobody wants a reading that is filtered beyond crazy, where you can't say anything. It'll sound like Tarzan English. Me, Joe, you, Jane. Or me, Jane, you, Joe. Okay, let's see. Zay is asking, will Danielle reply? All right. So I'm seeing two things. The first one is a mutual interest, romantic. So this is a person that is interested. And number two, I'm seeing that there's a reference to art or something that's a sculpture. So this is something that maybe you will experience with them. Okay, so understand that sometimes a person will ask about a specific place or person, and 98.98% of the time I will answer you with what you're asking. But if there's a message that comes out that is something stronger in that part of your life, I'm going to address that, okay? And there was a reference to sculpture, some piece of art that they liked. It can be a statue. It doesn't have to be fine art. It could be something that's $20 on discount. But it has to do with something that visually represented what they liked, and it's romantic. Okay, so there's an interested person in you. Okay, let's see. I'm not sure I can say your first part of your name because of the new regulations, but Kuri, your partner reunion is possible? Okay, I see what you're asking. I think this person's I see them online a lot. So maybe they're a gamer, or they're someone who's very, very invested in online time, It sounds like they're a gamer or a streamer. I think they're not into close connection. There's a distance. So you'd have to kind of work on that, okay? Okay, let's see. Kiara, do you ever cross Khalil's mind? Okay, I'm just going to ask if Khalil's romantically interested in you in any way. I would say that this can continue on and become, a romantic relationship. Yeah, I do see. I don't know if it's going to be loyal and dedicated and flourish. Hopefully it does. But do I see that you both connect and go that route? Yes, I do. So keep working towards that, because you both will connect. Okay, let's see. Is Nick still energetically attached to you? I don't know what you mean by that. Because I'm an astrologer, evolutionary astrologer, love astrologer, I'm a magical practitioner. I can understand that in so many layers and ways that I don't know if that's what you were asking. It's too vague for me. For example, and energetically attached, is that your code for is the spell working? You see what I'm saying? I don't know what you mean. Could it mean that you had smoochies and you're trying to wonder if that is, at a biological level in effect? Are you incongruently meshing parallel lines with energy and etheric fields? I don't know. Okay. All right, let's see. Just straight up. Yes or no, straight up. Okay. Karuna, will Rodney reach out to talk or reply to you? Okay. I do see that a small argument can occur. So that means yes, because for you to speak, for an argument to happen, dialogue must be exchanged. So yes, be careful with that. He could seem rude or cold, all right? Okay, Deidre, I think I said that right. Will Terrell and you be in a serious relationship? All right. So I do see that the person that you're asking about has in the past conducted shady behaviors. Okay, so I would say that their focus is on the material, not on falling in love and cherishing a relationship. Okay, so yeah. All right, see. Sarah S. is asking, will the financial settlement be soon for sale? Charisse Estate. Cute. Okay, let's see. Diana, will Ruben marry you? No. No, I see the situation changing. Cold feet. All right, Lexi, is your husband coming back? Okay, to your relationship. So I don't understand that because, like I said, I'm very literal, and you guys gotta understand. Is he coming back? So marriage means it's legal, and if a person leaves, it's either a separation or a divorce. If it's a divorce, it's a legal reading, which I offer, which means it's not about emotions anymore. It's its own entity. It's in the judicial system, so it's a case. If he left because he's upset, did he leave the marriage or did he just upset? So I don't know what you mean by that. If you want to clean up the question, I will address it. Are you just trying to find out about his feelings? Are you trying to find out if he's financially made a move with a lawyer to move his belongings? It's not a clear question. These are for clear questions. Okay, if you want to book a reading, it's 20. All right, let's see. Pauline, will Wavell and you be a committed relationship? All right, so you're really asking about Wavell. So let's ask. No. Now, this person has also issues with a farther away place. So this means that they're either getting their stuff from a place, they're moving, they are not settled. No, this person does not have their ducks in a row. The last thing they need now is something committed. I don't think he's where you're at, in headspace, in agreement, in combining his goals is what I mean. All right. All right, let's see. Nazy, are you going to meet Joel today? So falling in love doesn't happen in one day. If you're asking about today, for a man, it's probably they say, because the hormonal release that they have, that it's a different hormone than the female, and the way that a man falls in love, if he's not looking, and it's a little bit more by surprise. So it's vasopressin in the bloodstream, and it's usually when there's a mystery to chase, and then also like when he sees her, the female has a little bit different, unique experience, draws him in. So it it's really different. Where a female is more like it's very different. So you can't really find out. Nobody can answer that. That's up to him and the way that it happens organically. So spirituality can look into the past, present, and future, but the future that is Like if you buy a house and the house is a very key component in your future, that would be in your astrology. Like if it's in a woman with an inheritance or something that goes down like the paternal bloodline or something that's historical, that can be found. But when a person falls in love, it's up to the person, you see. We're not robots. So I know what you're asking. What I can ask is he in love with you right now? Is he currently already fallen? Is he on his way? Not will he. You can ask later to see how that progresses. In a love reading, the stages would come out, but there would still be no final answer. There would be just the right now. Okay, let's see. I'm sorry, Shelby. Should you continue building a relationship with your biological mother? Okay. Shelby, are you, I'm seeing a male in this situation. So it's either a brother or she has a son or you're the son or I don't know with names sometimes. But anyway, this is a situation here. So I do see a son that she has. In this, I'm seeing this significant here in the story. I also see that this is a memory for her. So this is something very significant. And I also see an infant. In other words, a baby on anywhere from like newborn, a little bit older than newborn, maybe up to the 8th month mark. Something within that, is significant. So this could mean, so if you're the infant next to the son that I'm seeing, this could mean that right now she's in a situation where the memory of an attachment was there. So this is a tenderness and this is good. As far as her intentions, I would say it's bittersweet. I would say that in some aspects there's growth from the connection, but you have to be kind of really on point and in check with yourself, because if it's going to take you into a headspace that you're not okay with later, don't do more than what you feel is healthy for you. I would say, yes, it's healthy to explore, but you have to keep being in check with it. If you see that something is hurting a boundary, because I could see that she's very unstable in some things. Okay, so you were adopted, but she mentioned wanting my next brother from her to be born on the same day. Okay, so maybe that's why I saw the son and the infant, and you seemed like the infant. You didn't seem like the son. I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. I just saw like an infant and a son and a little boy. So that's why I'm saying, yeah, and it was both part of the same. So, but what I'm trying to tell you is, I part of her seems a little bit off. So you got to realize I don't do medical readings, disclaimer, I do not diagnose or do anything like that. I do not pretend to be a mental health practitioner or any of such of the sort, okay? But you got to realize in readings, sometimes little things come up because it's in the spiritual, mind, body, soul, so I'm dealing with the soul part. I do see that she seems to me as a person that is more aloof than normal. So either she has, she's either on the spectrum or she has, there's some kind of repercussion from substance abuse or something to that nature. She's a little bit off. See what I'm saying? And you have to be careful with that, because this can really, you can bank on this stability and then all of a sudden, boom, there's a change and it can leave you like empty. So take it in small steps. That's what the answer that I have for you. Okay. Hope that helps. Okay, let's see. Kim, you love Carl. Does he love you? Okay. Wow. All right. I like that. So I'm seeing a man that is staring at, he's well dressed. Seems preppy, I guess. But there's a sadness to him, and he's staring out into a lawn. I don't know what the hell that is. I mean, it looks like a lawn. But the whole point is not the frickin' lawn. There is a upsetness in him, like he's not going to get something. It makes me feel like there's something financial in the family. There's something bitter. There's something even secretive. I know you're asking about love, but if you're asking about love with someone and the energy surrounding that person is negative because of family battles, money battles, inheritances, battling with siblings, trying to impress a parent, father problems, that's what's going to come up sometimes. If the man's headspace is completely when he's like on that cloud nine in love and all that, then immediately I see that love stuff. But if his headspace is with his issues, that's where it's going to go. It doesn't mean that there's, I'm sorry, I know you're asking a love question, but I'm seeing his headspace dealing with worried about the rest of his future. This is a person that is very concerned about his money, and it seems like it's family based. So there's something there. Let me try one more time about the love. I think he might lose you. All right, let's see. Let's see. Okay, Shiloh's asking, okay, Gerard. Okay, so go ahead and give me his sign, sweetheart. Okay, let's see. Barbara, will your money cards come in the mail? That's cute. Okay, let's see. I think I got to everybody. Okay, Libra. Okay. Let's see. I see that, there could be, I think you will repair a couple of times, not just once. But I think that he might break your heart because he's not dedicated in the way that you need. So the things that you need to be told and secured and, shown, it's like he's very fickle and, he can kind of Jekyll Hyde sometimes. So, yeah, you're not over, but you gotta watch it because this one's a roller coaster for you. All right, let's see. Michelle is home in Russia or in Missouri. So I'm gonna give you an answer with the crystal ball, but I want to let you know, as an astrologer, there's a specialty in astrology. I don't practice that. My specialty is love and soulmates and all of that. But there is a specialty. There are people that specialize in something called astrocartography, where it tells you your destined locations geographically, spiritually, okay? So obviously a deep read can explain if it will be better in Russia than Missouri. On a crystal ball, I'm going to see what comes in, okay? But you cannot substitute it for a real reading. So if you want to do astrocartography, that's one method. You can look for a professional that does hashtag astrocartography, or I can either do, a horoscope on it, or I can do a deep tarot. But anyway, let me do the crystal ball. Just don't substitute the crystal ball answer for the reading you're getting, okay? All right, let's see. So Russia or Missouri for this is Michelle. Since this is yes and no, I'm gonna ask about Russia. There's love in Russia. There's a romance there. And that's the answer that I have for you. So does that mean it's better? I'm not, it's undisclosed. Does that mean that the love is worth your while and the one that you should pursue? I don't know. I just know that there's a romance. Now, there's also something else. There's one location. I asked about Russia, so perhaps this is connected to Russia, but I will tell you, and you just make it in your notes. I do see a person having an issue with the law. But it can be that someone can get MUGS, or it could be something else, because I don't know the situation. I don't know. It doesn't look like the person you're romantically involved with. So I think that's a different, yeah, there's a totally different message. And then I see a person leaving on a plane alone. So this seems like Missouri to me. So I don't know. Based on this, seems like Russia is better in terms of what your life will, like the joys and things, but to be very responsible, because it's not a deep reading, don't base your future decisions on that. I just saw love in Russia, and it's real love, and there's a possible issue in Missouri. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. All right, guys, go ahead and put your question down below. If you want to book, my tarot is 20, and then I read it on YTUBE. Because of the new restrictions, you can't say other PLATFORMS. So I will read it on YTUBE, okay? Okay, let's see. Banu, does AB's trauma come from his ex-partner who did evil eye? So I don't know that. So no one does, the way you're saying it, like evil eye. Evil eye is something that a person carries with them, actually, because of a family curse and the way it works. It's in Sicily, it's malocchio, right? That's the root of it. But it spread throughout the Mediterranean, and it's part of embedded in Italian culture, so it's not just Sicilian. Anyway, so if someone does something, it would be a hex. So the way you're saying it, I don't know that he was hexed. I cannot take that into an assumption. That's you're telling me that, but as a magical practitioner, I don't just take it like that. I would have to investigate the situation and verify that that's in fact what someone had done. Number two, trauma is a medical term. I don't diagnose. So you're asking a psychological question, so I'm not going to be able to answer you. I'm very sorry. If you want to book a reading on the the spell consultation, I will look and see what was done to this person magically, if it was done at all. If I find in the reading that nothing was done, then you can go see a therapist, because that's done, that's psychological. That's not my realm. I'm not telling you to go see one. I'm saying it would be up to you if you are therapy minded and you feel that that's what it is. I will tell you if it was magical or not magical. That's my arena. That's my expertise, is the magical part, not the mental health part. I don't do any of that. All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Filtered. Okay. Filtered. Yes. Butterflies asking filtered. Yes. Especially after a certain date, this place, you're going to barely even be able to say any words, which is why I'm kind of, if I'm going to do a reading, I'm going to do it on YTUBE, because you can't even, the other day I mentioned the letter I, and I can't even say it close. And then the letter G, I can't even say both letters together. And it gave me a thing on it. I was like, oh, really? Because it's saying that I was trying to, and it's one of the policies. I'm like, okay, hell no, this is too filtered. Okay, it's gonna get worse next month. All right, will Max into dive you to his parents? What? I think you meant introduce. Will Max introduce? You wrote into dive. Okay, typos. That's funny. Okay, will Max introduce you to his parents because he's in love with you? All right, let's just find out if he's in love with you. So I see that he's involved in some kind of championship or competition, or something that he is trying to something competitive, whether it's academic or athletic. But I see that he's in some kind of competition. Um, that's the energy that is first and foremost, not him trying to hope his parents are in. I do see he's romantically into you, but I don't think it's the wife fiance category. I think it's just the girlfriend and just having that romantic partner kind of thing, the smoochies, and a committed relationship, yes. But I don't see that it's like you're the one and it's wild, like, the ring and the whole thing, and he's on cloud nine. I don't see that. So watch it with that. You may fit him right now in his life. Very different than being like the one that he would, do anything for. Okay, let's see. Will you and your boyfriend get married in 2 years? We'd have to do astrology with that because that's my specialty. So I can ask in this particular type of reading, I can ask if he wants to get married with you as of current time. All right, so I'll convert the question. Okay, let's see. Miss grip a lot. Okay. Okay. All right, here we go. I do see a commitment. Possible, I would say possible marriage. I'm not saying that that's 100% because it's not a love reading. I'm not doing deep reads, but from what I can see, it seems very aligned with what you're saying. I would say the love is very real. Okay, so I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. It seems that way to me. All right. Okay, let's see. Journey will reach you and you get married. No, I see a delay with that. Several delays with that. It doesn't mean that you're not in each other's lives, because oddly enough, I see you both in each other's lives through thick and thin for a while. So I don't think it's because he doesn't want to. I think it's other factors that get in the way. All right. Jenny will, hey Beatrice. Jenny, will you find those checks you misplaced? So I do offer a missing item reading, and it's through astrology. So that's how to find lost items. That's how you do that. You don't ask, will I find it or not? That doesn't exist. So if you do, you're getting ripped off. And that's bullshit. And you can tell them I said that. Will you find it or not? That doesn't exist. It can tell you where something is. It can tell you if you're going to lose something. Divination, whether it's tarot, trees, sticks, stones, bones, metal, chips, I don't care. Divination can tell a person if they're going to be stolen from, if they can lose an item. But if you're going to find it or not is up to the alignment of a person's spirituality and their mercurial energy, their head chakra, and that's how it's on the alignment. So it's your free will aligning with the effort of wanting to do that, of manifesting, finding it. So that's your internal work as a human. So that is correct. But when it comes to that has to be like very much in check. But where something is lost can be found through divination. Like it can tell you, oh, it's behind a desk or something like that. I could try to see where it is, okay? But not if you're going to find it or not, because that's up to your effort. You connecting with your own energy, ethereal field around you, not just your aura. Okay, let's see. So you got checks, different checks. They must be together because I'm going to ask one. So I'm going to ask one check because I don't know if they're together. So let me see if you're going to find at least one check. Hopefully they're clustered. Not if you're going to find it, where they are. Hang on. Give me 1 second. I'm verifying it one more time. Okay, so I see two things. The first one is a table with several people sitting at the table. And it doesn't look like it's family. It looks like it's like friends. Okay, like hanging out, like maybe having pizza or whatever. But it seems, I don't care what they're eating. I didn't see what they're eating. But it's like a group of people sitting at a table, maybe like four people, maybe 5 people, something like that. And then I saw 2 cars. Okay. All right. With astrology, it's called Hori astrology, spelled horary. That's how you find missing objects, and I do offer those readings. Okay, here we go. But that's the clue. Okay. All right. Let's see. Amanda, does Wade want you in his future? All right. So, it seems like Wade suffers from maybe depression or something like that. Again, I'm not diagnosing anyone. I'm just saying, it seems like he does. He would have to have been diagnosed by a professional. But it seems like he's down a lot. He's got issues where he's down, down in the blues. And this prevents him from enjoying things. I don't know what causes that. If I did like a full mind read, I could see if it's like drinking or blah, 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 whatever. But I don't know. All I can tell you is you're asking me about this person, and what I see is this person is more like a hermit. It reminds me of the hermit card, although that has like 100 meanings. But I'm just saying, he just reminds me of that, like not in the best frame of mind all the time to offer something like a new romance, which is so exciting and fun. All right, let's see. Oh, hi, how are you? Naranda, does Clifford wanna come towards you but is afraid to? Come towards you? What? I don't know what that means. Like in a game? I don't know, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay, I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, he's really shy. He's really shy, so you would have to kind of butter it up a little bit. All right, let's see. By the way, and if this was English class, you'd get an F, right? Coming towards you. You'd get a big F, okay? That's not grammatically correct, okay? All right. I'm just kidding. All right, you guys, let's see. Angel, good morning, kind soul. Oh, thank you. I'm a kind soul. Okay, let's see. Is holding her true. Okay, Angel is holding her true love for you. Holding is the person's name? Okay, I'm really confused. Angel, give me the person's name you're asking about. You want to know if they're. Oh, Betty. Betty. Okay, so is Betty in love with you? Okay. I do see an attachment to someone in their past. So this doesn't mean that they're actively living that they are attached. This means that this could be when they miss someone or they're not over the trauma of a breakup or something like that. It's still baggage. So either you have to have patience, You reckon, huh? I know. It's annoying, but that's my mom raising me. She, professor teaching English and literature. What do you want? Okay, let's see. Cecilia, is Aaron wanting to reconcile? Yes, and I believe you do. You reconcile. Vanilla, did Zumba instructor Hector finally stop obsessing over you? Okay, I'm not going to use the word obsessive, but I will absolutely ask about Hector. You know why, right? It's a policy thing. The word that can be a safety word, so we can't use it, but I know what you mean. Okay, Hector. Gotcha. No, not fully. This is him being friends with a female where the female can still get information about you. I don't think that it's strong still, like every moment of every day kind of thing, like it used to be. I see it's a much lighter version, but there's something sneaky that you may not realize. So this talks about someone who you least suspect looking at things and every once in a while feeding him back things that you may not notice, because this is definitely something you're not noticing. So, all right, someone's being decoy. All right, let's see. Melissa, will you find a job soon? All right. Yes, I do see something where it's very fast paced and something with the hands. So this might not be what you're looking for. Maybe it's shipping, maybe it's something that's, I see a person doing something fast with their hands. So what could that be? I don't know, shuffling papers, maybe stapling. I don't see what it is. It's something that's not, it could be, I mean, maybe baking, I don't know, but a person standing. So it's going to be like in the retail kind of theme, I guess, because it's a person standing doing the job and doing something with the arms. So maybe this is just a means to an end if you're looking for something more professional. It can also be that you apply for things and this is the one that first reaches out, even though you're not interested in it. So it doesn't mean that's the one you're going to take. If I do a deep tarot, then as I start panning out the whole, the deck and the spread and everything I do, we would see the different options and different things. Was this one vision, one energy? So this is like the first thing that comes up, and that's the thickest right now for you. So that doesn't mean you have to take it, understand? All right, let's see. Beatrice, does Amelia value your friendship? I would say it's in a good place, but I wouldn't say that it's so deep that you're seen as like a sister and all this love. I'd say that it's just good. It's just good, meaning there's nothing negative to it. But I don't see that this person is gonna end up like through the years, oh my God, she's my BFF, we have to do everything together. I don't see it like that. I just see it's just really good. It's just like normal. You got to remember. I'm doing your vertex soon, so we'll talk about that. Okay, let's see. King, should you move in with a rod? I'm not sure if you should or not, but I am seeing that this person will have people that bother you. So I do see you disturbed, perturbed by people that bother you. So in other words, if he brings over a roommate that's a pig and doesn't clean up after himself, or he's hanging around someone who's maybe foul-mouthed or whatever, and they bother you, this becomes an issue, okay? All right, let's see. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, remember guys, if you want, I have 2 spots left. My tarot is 20 if you want to book. All right, let's see. Tracy, how will your interview go on Thursday? So how? I'm not doing how. I'm doing yes and no. Okay? This is free yes and no. If you want a reading, you could book it. Okay, let's see. Thank you so much for the puffs. Thank you. Okay, Vanilla, did Hector take a break from being a Zumba instructor? Oh yeah, no, I only do one person, one question per person. Thank you. Okay, Daily Cotton is asking, will it go well? Will what go well, sweetheart? Is that the one about the interview? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you. Oh, your interview? Okay, yes. I see it will. I see that you will work very well with the person that hires you, or maybe wants to hire you. Sometimes people are liked at interviews, and then there's somebody else that has a different agenda, and they're not given the job, but they got close. So what I'm seeing is, you're asking if you go well, not if you're being hired. So I feel it goes well. I feel that there's a really, I mean, I feel that you could be hired. I'm not saying you are or not. It feels like you will be because I asked the question, will it go well? And it feels like you will, or at least it will lead to that, because here I'm seeing further in the story. Let me explain what that means. In what I'm seeing is that you have this, like, when you're interviewed and that you start talking about the position more, I see you standing with a female looking at something, and you feel really like, wow, she gets me, like I follow this, like she talks to me in a way that I like. So that's really good when you have that balance in those relationship dynamics are really good. And then I see that there's someone that needs help in the workplace. I think it's male. I think it's a male. Later, and you're being kind of like put in a position where you need to do more than what you signed up to do. So I think that if you're, this is the kind of job that it's going to have a lot of pros and a lot of cons together. So if you're up for it, I mean, it looks like it's worth your while, but you're going to have to be patient. You were offered a job with them a few months ago, but turned it down due to pay. Then it wouldn't be them, because this story plugs into something coming up for you. Sometimes when people are, job hunting, and they like fill out 20 applications, they go to like 3, interviews, they have 4 scheduled. The kind of thing, that is the energy surrounding the person the strongest. So that means that the one that I'm picking up on is, something really strong, because it talks about a female and you getting along and then having issues. It wasn't because of pay. This one is fine with pay. That what's not fine is that later it's kind of like, wait, you want me to do this and that's not what I was hired to do? Like, why do you want to exploit me like that? To do more than what, that's not fair. But then you can't say anything because there's so much that is going to be happening for you. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's interesting. That's what I see. That's the energy of what I see. All right, I hope that helps. Thank you. You may have to wait, for it to kind of click and be like, oh, okay. All right, Jennifer, will your disability claim get approved? All right, so you would have to ask the disability department. Okay, before next Wednesday, will you get your reimbursement? Okay, you would have to ask the reimbursement office. All right, thank you so much. All right, guys. Sam, would you be happier if Amy and you divorced? Okay. No. So the answer that I'm telling you is no, and that doesn't mean that it's forever. As a love astrologer, honestly, a really deep look at the natal chart is important. If you don't like astrology and you're scared by it or it seems weird to you, then understand this. Sometimes people are meant to separate or divorce, and it's the timing that's a problem. So I'm saying no. If you're unhappy, I don't know the story because I'm not doing a reading on it. If I were doing a reading on it, I would open up all the details. But this is a message, right? I see that you're surrounded by four corners of issues. In other words, this is a surrounding thing. It could be assets, it could be family, it could be, whatever. And to just cut it and leaves things heavy and open, and like messes with a lot of things in the near future. So it's not like you're going to be able to have a clean slate and start your life with somebody else. This has spiritual baggage on it. So it's either that it's not the right time, or you're going about it in a way that you're not it could be worse for you financially. I'm not sure why, but I would say no. And so it's specific, but at the same time the answer is vague that I'm giving you. So we'll go with the specific. No. Okay, let's see. Anda, will your relationship with Lanwabo work out? It doesn't seem like you have a relationship. There's some genuine stuff. This could be a crush. I would say to be aware of how much you give without the other person giving as much. Yeah. Oh, and Sam, the other, what I wanted to say is, and sometimes the reason the answer is no is because that is the love of your life. So if it's the love of your life, you're always going to compare the next person. So I wouldn't know unless I read your chart. You would know because it's your heart. If you're miserable in the situation you're in, but she's the person you love the most in your whole life, anybody else, yeah, men remarry and stuff, but men have one love of their life, one. Even though they can remarry and have kids and try to make the best life they can later. If they are the love of your life, you're not going to ever have a woman at that level. So again, I don't know the story, but be very careful with your decisions, If you're turning to the spiritual, then do it right and get like the whole thing from the natal chart. Okay, let's see. Rose, is Jake genuine with you and his love for you? And okay. All right, fair enough. There's 1 foot in, 1 foot out with him. I think he's secretive. I don't know what the secret's about. I feel he's just secretive. It's like part of him is very, very giving signals of, being present and being very there and everything. And then there's like this secretive side. I'm going to hold back. I'm not as available. And to me, that's 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of thing. So either get to the bottom of what is going on, maybe that's a phase. Maybe he's scared. I don't know. You can't judge a book by its cover, All right, let's see. Claudia, does he love you enough to stay through the hard times? Because there could be, I'm getting a no, but check this out. If you're asking and you have other people in love with you, and you have, little by little, you're starting a little bit of talking to someone and he's the one you like, the reading can go towards any one of those individuals. So it's better to use a person's name or their zodiac sign to really get the answer, okay? Because by not giving the name, you're not doing anything. You know, I'm asking my ancestors and my spirit team. And 50% of the answer comes from my abilities, which is my higher self. So if you're trying to say, you know, this code stuff, you're not doing anything. You're not proving anything. If you want an answer from me and my team, you got to give me the question. If you want to test my skills, then, you know, you can do so through a reading, and that's fine. Okay, let's see. All right, let's see. Alyssa, does Richard have any regrets from the aftermath of his... Okay. Yes. I don't know what happened, but I see that either it was done to get, you know, in other words, it's like when a person does something to make someone jealous or just out of spite. Sometimes male Pisces do that. They're not the only sign, but that's one of the signs. Sagittarius can act that way as well. Very vindictive. Oh, I want you to see this. Ha ha, in your face, you know? Yeah, I see you guys making up anyway, so. Okay, let's see. Kevin, is Sonia cheating? Oh, Crystal. Not officially, but it's lurking. The chance is lurking, so you gotta, you know, put a cap on that. You know what I mean? Like, nip it in the bud, like, address it, like, talk to her, like, you know, that's what I'm saying. Because it seems like it's possible. It has not occurred, but it's in the works because of emotions and things not being addressed and said. So in other words, when you abandon a situation for too long, I'm not saying you, but, you know, the repercussions sometimes. Oh, come on, seriously, with those questions? Come on, guys. Some of them are very inappropriate. Let's not dealing with that. It's gross. Okay. Are you and Jacob going to last? That's too many questions. Okay, did your son's father put something on you? So magic questions require a consultation. You can book that in my shop. It's called a spell consultation. Let's see. All right, guys, thank you so much for participating. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'll be back.